Hey, come on in. I was just watching a football game on TV, but I can turn it off. The writing's on the wall for this one.
Just talking about Calais Campbell. He has fun straight back up. That's what you...
What? You don't know what that means? Have you never heard that saying before? The writing's on the wall? Well, it doesn't mean that there's really writing on the wall, but it does mean that you know what's going to happen. You can see it coming. Like this game, the one team was so far ahead and the game was almost over. I know what's going to happen. My team's going to lose. So we say the writing's on the wall. I bet you don't know where that phrase came from since you never heard that phrase before. Let me show you. It's an exciting story in the Bible. Come on. Look, the table's set pretty fancy. Somebody must be having a party. Look. There's our story in the Bible. I like the Bible. I like the Bible 'cause I read it and I do it. I read it and I do it. I like the Bible. I like the Bible 'cause I read it and I do it. So, King Belshazzar from Babylon, he had stolen some of the people of Israel and taken them to his country. He also stole some of the things out of the temple, God's special things, plates, cups, things that he used and the people used to help worship God. Well, Belshazzar decided to have a party, and he used the things out of the temple. Do you think that made God very happy? No, it didn't. And while he was having his party, drinking out of the cups and eating off the plates, there came a hand, just a hand, and it started writing on the wall. That made everybody at the party stop, and they were pretty scared. Let me see your scared faces. Oh my goodness. What is that? It's a hand and it's writing on the wall all by itself. Well, after it got done writing, the king looked at it and he didn't understand what it meant. It said, Mene, Mene, Tekel, Parson. Do you know what that means? I don't know what it means either. And neither did the king. So he called his wise men in and said, "What does this mean?" His wise men didn't know either. Do you have a face that you make when you don't understand something? Let me see that face. But the king's mother remembered a very special person that they had taken away from Israel, and his name was Daniel. Do you remember anything about Daniel? Like maybe spending the night in a lion's den? So the king called Daniel, and Daniel looked at the writing on the wall, and he said, "I know what this means. God is saying your fate is sealed. It's written here. It's going to happen. You're going to lose your kingdom." And it did happen, just like Daniel said. Another country came and overtook King Belshazzar's kingdom. And he wasn't king anymore, just like God had said. So there's where the phrase, the writings on the wall, comes from. It comes right from the Bible. And God knows the plans that he has for us, too. Now that you know the true story, why don't you grab a piece of paper and some crayons or markers, and I'll meet you in my classroom. We'll do a little project. Do you have your supplies, your paper? I've got crayons here. So what we're going to do is draw your handprints on the paper. You might need to get a grown-up to help you. Ask them to give you a helping hand to trace your hands like this. You can use any color you want. My hand's probably bigger than yours, so I think I'll only get one hand on my paper, but you can do both your hands. And then color it in like this. There's one more thing that I'd like you to add to your picture. Have your grown-up helper write the words to this Bible verse from Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans I have for you. I know the plans I have for you. And that's God talking in the book of Jeremiah. And just like God knew what was going to happen to King Belshazzar, he knows what his plans are for you and me. Only the plans he has for us, the verse goes on to say he has plans to prosper us, to give us hope and a future, as long as we follow him. So now, whenever you look at your handprint or prints, you can remember that God knows the plans he has for us. That helps us when we're scared because we're doing something new that we don't know what's going to happen. Have you ever been scared before? Maybe going to the doctor because you don't know if you're going to get a shot or not. Or maybe going to preschool or meeting new friends. There are some scary times, but remember, God knows his plans for you, and those plans are for good things. So I've got a little song to help us remember our verse, and then we'll say goodbye for the day. Ready? Whenever I see the handprints on my wall, I can remember that God knows his plans for me. And you can remember that when you look at your handprints on your picture. Now, let's sing a song about it. God knows his plans, God knows his plans just for you, just for you. Plans to make life better, plans to give a future. He loves you, he loves you. Can you try that with me one time? God knows his plans, God knows his plans just for you, just for you. Plans to make life better, plans to give a future. He loves you, he loves you. And I love you too. Have a good day, and remember, God knows his plans for you.